Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Erchaha Chodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Ahwath that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Wak. Just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And copyright disclaimer is up, and I want to play this video with Esau, or appears to be Edomites, man, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're dealing with these children. But this is also funny as shit, too, with the, it kind of, you know, just makes me think of the fall of America with the way that these officers are falling off this damn deck, you know. But, you know, just to point out that the way that they dealing with these kids these days, we're living in the last days, man. Esau is being revealed, but just being the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And it's just too much of this shit going on, man. And it's too much of it coming out. So it's just an indicator that we're at the end of this journey, man. So just hang on, continue on praying for the downfall of this place. Continue on praying for the exposure of this man. Because 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it talks about how the man of sin, the son of perdition, has to be revealed before the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And this man is being exposed on every end, man. So you know, let's do everything that we can to push his ass out here. And again, you know, when we see people that look like so-called white people, we're not saying that all of them are Edomites. We're not saying that, you know, because there are people that look like so-called white people that are actually Israelites, you know. It's not a skin color thing. But let's just play the video. You know, we can get a double treat out of this, because, you know, watching these fucking marshals look doofy as hell on this fall, it just reminds me of how this place is falling. So let's play the video.
All right, dramatic video this morning showing the moment a wooden deck collapsed at a Missouri home while U.S. Marshals were on it. Take a look there. Now, this high up in the sky.
Very high up. These scary moments unfolded last month in the town of Huntsville in Randolph County. These U.S. Marshals task force members were serving an arrest warrant in Missouri when a second-story deck at an apartment complex collapsed, sending 9 deputies plummeting to the ground. Officers were there to check on a registered sex offender, 26-year-old Jacob Alexander Munoz, after he allegedly stopped reporting to his parole officer. A warrant was issued for his arrest. Their supervisor says everyone is fortunate that it just wasn't any worse than it was.
See? Possession of child pornography, sex offender registry, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, again, this guy, he could be a Moabite, Ammonite, Israelite. But either way, you know, this is a very sexualized place. There's a lot of sexual deviance going on. And you're living in the era of Epstein files. And there's a lot of so-called white men that's being caught in these actions, man. Day after day after day. And they try and keep it off the news. But it's just so much going on, where it's kind of like, it's just so much shit going on, man. We just got to just stay focused, continue on praying that this man is exposed. And he's going to be exposed because it's prophetic. You know what I'm saying? Let's just play the rest.
The fact that they hit the ground in 2 seconds and there was no accidental discharge of any firearms or anything like that, it's very surprising.
Munoz.
There's your boy right there. There you go. He could be a damn Jake, though.
Wasn't even at that apartment at the time of the collapse, but he did.
And that's something. He wasn't even there. He wasn't even there. So it was meant for these men to get caught on camera like that. You know, you know, just dropping through, because a lot of them overweight as hell. I wouldn't even have walked. You could have probably, somebody with some common sense would have thought, like, this don't look too, you know, for all of us to be going up there. Is this 30 enough? you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because these officers, each one of those guys is probably every bit of 200 pounds or better. So you got 9 guys up there. You know, you got well over a damn ton. That shit is not built for a bunch of people like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, 1, 2, 3 people. But anyway, you get the point. Let's get this the scripture that I quoted. And I'm not going to keep this long. It's going to be a quick one on this one. I just kind of seen that and was like, damn. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. All this weirdoism, man. All this dealing with these children and shit, man. 2 Thessalonians 2:3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? So the man of sin, the son of perdition, is Esau / Edom, which the word Edom means red. Because you can clearly see this is not a white guy. Let me pull him back up here. You know, he's pinkish to reddish in color. But he could be, like I said, he could be any ethnicity, you know, because colors are not ethnicities, man. Land masses are not ethnicities. Your seed line goes through your father. So this man could very well be any of the from any of the 18 nations that the Lord created. But you know, this has got Edomite shit written all over it. You know what I'm saying? But he has to be revealed before the coming of the Lord. And so it goes on to say, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And the only race of people that have done that, you know, is the so-called white race. They're the ones that's, when you Google God, you see one of them pop up. You see a picture of them pop up. Or if you Google the Son of God, you see a picture of them pop up. Or if you Google the angels, you'll see one of them pop up. You Google any of the prophets, the disciples, or anyone in the Bible, any special name that you want to, you can put in Samuel. You can put in Joseph. You can put in Moses. You can put in David. You can put in Solomon. I don't care who you put in that's got to do with the scriptures. They're going to give you a white image, so-called white image. I'm willing to bet you that. So they you know, Job 9:24, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Let's get that real quick. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And they done that very thing with the main judge face, the Father, which his name is Yahweh, which means that he exists, or the existing one. And the secondary main judge he done that to is the Son of God, which is Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And then, of course, he changed the judges, you know, like all the men of the Lord, the prophets, the disciples, just the people in general. Because the people of Israel were people of color. Now, we look like different people now because, like I said, again, it's not a skin color thing. But before, in the ancient days, we were different shades of brownish colors. Different, you know, shades of it. It wasn't like, you know, we're looking like a so-called white man today, you know, which our people, some of our people do. Some of our people look like Chinese people, Japanese people, so on and so forth. But this is Job 9:24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's the reason why all this pedophilia, all this dealing with these children is going on, even up to your highest ranks with not just Donald Trump and them in the Epstein files, but it's men of far higher stature that's in those files. That shit went all the way over to the Crown. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of Prince Andrew. He was a part of it. You know, it goes up the pole. And a lot of these men, you really don't know who they are because they redacted a lot of it. And Trump and them been trying so hard to keep that shit out of the, you know, out of the news. Now they got a new attorney, Todd Blanche, I think is his name. He's going even further to keep that shit out of the news. But it's more and more shit that's still coming out on it. But they pushed it to the side so far that people are really not. People know what's going on. It's like they're a lot of them are pissed because Trump came in with a promise on his campaign trail that he would expose these files and expose these people. But come to find out, his fucking name in there is in there more than anybody else. Or we don't know if it's anybody else because they redacted a lot of the names. So, but we know that his name is in the motherfuckers a lot. But again, Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So, even with judgment on the planet, these people are getting a slap on the wrist for these kinds of crimes. I just done a lesson with this woman for drugs and money. You know, she pimped out her 4-year-old and her 7-year-old daughters. And they gave this bitch a $250,000 bond. That bitch should be, that's human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? You trafficking your own daughters to different men, not just one man. You know, they getting slaps on the wrist for this kind of stuff. You even got some of these people that's even talking about how it's not a crime, it's a disease. You know, they calling it something else now. They're not even calling them, the word of pedo. They using these soft kitty glove words for these people, like they just have mental things going on with them. So anyway, I don't want to keep it long. I just seen this. The funny twist to it was these niggas falling off the damn balcony. Because this guy, let's go back on it. They was gonna mention a lot more. Let's just play this whole shit back when we end out. And then you go into some of these comments. Let me see. Somebody says that's what they get. Salakia, y'all. Salakia for that. I had to let that damn truck go by with that goofy shit playing. Piggy's had a real letdown. This nigga ain't not even there. And what are y'all doing at the door? Like, like, that shit, I wouldn't have trusted that shit anyway. Anyway, let's see here. Nobody's mentioning the guy, though, that they running down on, All you see is the shit. I get it. The video is about them falling on their asses. But, I'm looking at the fact that, look at the motherfucker they was after. He wasn't even there. Like, how you know this nigga not there? Y'all watching every damn thing. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I ain't seeing nobody in here. It says they need all 10 fat asses up there. Yeah, well, I wanna, Yeah, the way that shit looked, it just didn't look. It didn't look like it had enough, too much support, man. Like, that shit is stupidly built. You think that wouldn't have even made inspection. Oh gosh, boy. See, I get it though. You know what I'm saying? Because the article is about the cops falling through the deck. I'm looking more at, spiritually, we looking at the fact. Okay, I get it with the cops falling through the deck because this is like an omen to me. Like this is really like the fall of America. Like America is in a fucking a tailspin, man. It's in a tailspin because you got all this technology. You running up to try and find somebody like this right here. But where are these kids at? I just seen an article where it was talking about 75,000 so-called black little girls supposedly missing in America. Like with all this tech shit, you got all these flock cameras, you got license plate cameras, and every now and then they'll have like a bus. We found these traffickers. Well, why can't you find these fucking people all the time? Here you go. This motherfucker is already on the list of being an offender. What are you doing there now? Like, he missed probation, or he missed one of his probational hearings or some shit. Anyway, let's play the video again. We're gonna end out. But to me, that's just me speaking as a man. But just spiritually, man, this place is doomed. This place is doomed, man. Nothing good gonna come out of this place. There's no making. I guess Trump, maybe when he said "Make America Great Again," there was a time when men were able to kind of just do what they wanted to do, especially so-called white men. See, because right now they're just getting caught up now, and they're still getting slaps on the wrist. But think about it before the camera. Think about it before everybody had a cell phone and was filming the asses. Think about before they were being recorded. Esau was off the damn hook. This nigga off the hook now. You got a little bit of money, man. You can afford a decent lawyer. You good. Being a so-called white man. Anyway, we'll play the video again and end out. Salak.
However.
Well, our video this morning showing the moment a wooden deck collapsed at a Missouri home while U.S. Marshals were on it. Take a look there. Now, this high up in the sky.
Very high up. These scary moments unfolded last month in the town of Huntsville in Randolph County.
That's embarrassing as hell. Look at homegirl. She on her cell phone. She kind of giggling. But she getting her news. And these news networks, see, this is what's happening. They're getting their news from cell phone footage. They're getting their news from a lot of shit that people record from their phones and stuff these days. They don't even have to do no work like that, really. They get a little script. You know, they may get an email on, okay, we're going to run this story, we're going to run that story, this, and this, but they are getting their actual news from the cell phone.
These U.S. Marshals Task Force members were serving an arrest warrant in Missouri when a second-story deck at an apartment complex collapsed, sending 9 deputies plummeting to the ground. Officers were there to check on a registered sex offender, 26-year-old Jacob Alexander Munoz, after he allegedly...
That shit is embarrassing, bro. Nobody thought... You can just look at the beams and see that shit look shaky, bro.
He stopped reporting to his parole officer. A warrant was issued for his arrest. Their supervisor says everyone is fortunate that it just wasn't any worse than it was.
The fact that they hit the ground in 2 seconds and there was no accidental discharge of any firearms or anything like that, it's very surprising.
Munoz wasn't even at that apartment at the time of the collapse, but he did, however, later turn himself in.
Well, are you looking for a job where you can... All right, dramatic video.
He said he did turn himself in. Oh, man. Come on, bro. Anyway, man, yeah, it's a lot going on out here, man. Pray. You know, keep a watch on the children, man. Keep a watch on your kids, because there's a lot that can happen within seconds, man. You know, it don't take long for, you know, people to take it, snatch your damn youngins, man. There's a lot of shit going on, man. And, you know, we see a lot of in Detroit. I know at least where I live at, because I see the kids in the morning time. When I'm going to work, I'm like, well, damn, they kind of small to be out going to school on their own, you know, especially little girls that be by themselves. I'm thinking like, well, damn, why the fuck would you, you know, I get it, the school is around the corner, but that's nothing. It don't take, you know what I'm saying? It don't take but a half a block up the street for somebody to get snatched, man. You know? I see this shit all the time. Fucking women still a bunch of single women, you know, on my end. You know, be at the crib, too goddamn lazy, or, you know, done been up all goddamn night, smoking, drinking, getting high. Kids getting up, damn near getting themselves ready for school and walking out of the door and shit on their own. I see that shit all the time. Like, man, no, that's not a good look anyway, though. Because you got motherfuckers out here like this right here, man. We got to be, you know, more on point when it comes to our children. And especially in this day and time, because you got grown-ups that's coming up missing and being fucking hung in trees and shit, man. You got these weirdos running around. Look at this motherfucker again. You can clearly see he high.
For his arrest.
Look at him. Look at this nigga. You know that motherfucker get high. You can see all in his eyes. He, you know. Just a bunch of weirdos running around, bro. Anyway, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Just a quick little quick laugh, you know, in a sense. But, you know, not a joking matter when it comes to this type of shit. And this nigga's name is Jacob. You know, you motherfuckers, stop giving y'all kids these biblical names, man. Which we know that's the, you know, the American version of it. You know, this nigga's not Yahweh, man. Anyway, with that, shalom.